Now let's start the program proper. May we take a minute or a moment of silence to give the Almighty Allah His due. Let's start. So very much. May our prayers be accepted. Now, may I request you to stand up so that we sing the national anthem of our beloved country. DJ, can you please help us with the national anthem? Thank you so very much, DJ. Now we move on to the next agenda, which is the opening remarks by the Vice Principal, Madam Dow. Madam, the mic is yours.
Good morning to you all. First of all, I would want to give a warm welcome to our panelists, to give them a warm welcome at Gambia College. It is a great honor and privilege to have all of you here as we come together to celebrate World Menstrual Hygiene Day. I think this is a significant occasion dedicated to raising awareness, breaking the silence, and promoting the importance of menstrual hygiene management. First and foremost, I would like to extend a special welcome again to our panelists who will be educating you, especially the students, on menstrual hygiene. Your presence today underscores the importance of this event. Your commitment to advocating for menstrual health and hygiene is truly inspiring, and we are grateful for your support. Today, as we gather here, the panelists aim to shed light on a topic that is often overlooked, yet crucial to the health and well-being of millions of women and girls around the world. Menstrual Hygiene Day is not just about addressing a biological process, but it's also about promoting health, education, dignity, and gender equality. Menstruation is a natural and essential part of life for millions of women and girls. However, due to a lack of knowledge, inadequate facilities, and persistent cultural taboos, many face significant challenges in managing their menstrual health safely and with dignity. Today, the panelists will be taking time to highlight why menstrual hygiene management is so vital and what we can do to support it. The theme for this year's celebration, which is Togetherness for a Period Friendly World, reflects the essential role that menstrual health plays in empowering women and girls. By ensuring that they have resources and knowledge to manage their menstruation safely and with dignity, we can help them achieve their full potential. Menstruation is a natural part of life, yet it is surrounded by myths, misconceptions, and taboos that often lead to shame and stigma. Today, we are here to break these barriers, to foster open and honest conversation, and to ensure that every woman and girl can manage her menstruation with confidence and dignity. Today, let's take this opportunity to highlight why menstrual hygiene management is so vital and what we can do to support it. The day, as I have seen through the program, is full of activities, And these are all planned activities with series of information and engaging activities, which includes the panel discussion, I think, which is the main activity of the day, but then together with cultural performance, that is role plays and role play and drama. And these are all meant to educate and give information to you all. I would therefore encourage everyone here to actively participate in these activities, to ask questions, to share your experiences, and to learn from each other. Let us use this platform to empower ourselves and our communities, to advocate for better menstrual health policies, and to ensure that no woman or girl is left behind due to menstruation related challenges. I would like to, before I conclude, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the student executive and to thank the Ministry of Health and Gender for organizing this activity. I would also like to thank all of you who have contributed to organizing this important event. Your dedication and hard work are truly appreciated. To our panelists, our guests, thank you for being here and thank you to answering to the call of our students. And thank you for your commitment to promoting menstrual health and hygiene. Let us make the most of these days, let us learn from each other and continue to advocate for a world where women and girls can manage their menstruation with dignity and pride. Thank you all.
Invite the Vice President of the 42nd Executive Council, His Excellency Lamin Barrow, to give a welcoming remarks to our guests. Lamin, the mic is yours.
Good morning, panelists, fellow executive members, and the rest of my fellow students. I greet you all. As we join the rest of the world to commemorate the World Menstrual Hygiene Day, which is a great global concern in the world. On behalf of the 42nd Executive Council, I therefore welcome you all in this great occasion. Let's feel free, learn from the panelists and the rest of the fellow students. I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you so very much, His Excellency Lamin Barrow, for welcoming our guests warmly and also encouraging our students to be attentive when they are trying to share their experience with us. Now I will invite the guest speaker to give a speech on the thematic areas that I've mentioned, that is the overview of menstrual hygiene and management and its importance, overview of the agenda and objective for the day. But before I welcome her, please permit me to give a gist of who Madam Elsie Macaulay is. Madam Elsie Macaulay is a youth and community development enthusiast, entrepreneur and mentor who has over 10 years of experience in the field of youth work, with a bachelor's degree in the management from the University of the Gambia. She is a continental youth leader in the African Alliance for YMCA Leadership Program, the S2C Ambassadors Program. She also doubled up as a global YMCA change agent as an African ambassador within the World Movement Youth Program. She is committed to the development of youth, most especially vulnerable young people, for the African Renaissance. A trainer and an advocate on peace and security, focusing on the prevention of irregular migration and the reintegration of migrants into society. MSIL is the co-founder and president of Young Advocates for Sexuality, Sexual Health, and Sexual Rights, YAST, an organization that strengthens young people access to sexual and reproductive health rights (SRHR) needs, most especially persons with disabilities, to make informed decisions in relation to their sexual health. She is committed to ensuring that young people in and out of school are free from all forms of violence, most especially women and girls, and that they have equal access to their SRHR needs. Her work and skills entail communication, community engagement, advocacy, and youth development. Elsin is passionate in reaching in and out of school adolescents and young adults through comprehensive sexual education (CSE) to enable them to adopt positive sexual behaviors, equipping them with the right knowledge, skills, attitude, and values to make informed decisions about their total well-being, individually and in relationships. Madam Elsie, the mic is yours. Can you please stand up till he asks us to sit down to welcome Madam Elsie?
Please be seated. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Do we have young people in the house? So good morning, everybody. Thank you. So my name is Elsie Macaulay, President and co-founder of Young Advocates for Sexuality, Sexual Rights, and Sexual Health. We contain a lot of S, which says a lot about sexual reproductive health rights. It is indeed a great privilege and an honor to be here with you today as your guest speaker as we commemorate World Menstrual Hygiene Day. It is one of many sensitive conversations that will be led by many today globally. I want to start by saying that menstruation, commonly known as period, is normal and it is natural. There's nothing abnormal about it. It is healthy and proper for a good reproductive cycle. Is that true? Thank you. So I have this as an SRHR advocate. I like to make people feel very awkward about mentioning certain things, and I want you also to help me make the room feel a bit awkward. So if I say certain words, I want everybody to repeat after me. Is that fine? Is that fine? Are you ready for the awkwardness? Everybody shout vagina. I thought you guys were ready for it. You are not ready for that. Everybody say menstruation. Everybody say menstruation. Everybody say pad. Everybody say pad. See why I did that? Many times we find it very awkward or something very strange to make mention these names. Are we together? Are you guys still thinking about the vagina I just said? Huh? Is it awkward? But isn't our part called a vagina? It is. It is normal. God created us with a what? A vagina. It's part of our reproductive system. So it's awkward to hear it. And very strange. But it shouldn't be so. Before I start my speech, I also continue with my statement. Last week, I was at a meeting, and it was a budget meeting. And instead of the people saying on the budget, menstrual pad, the person may mention dignity kit. And everybody was like, what is dignity kit on our budget? What is dignity kit? They were shy to say menstrual pad. So what is awkward about saying menstrual pad? Is it not normal? It's not normal that we need it. So why are you ashamed to say menstrual pad? Okay? So I hope that today, after every discussion, we will leave this place without feeling ashamed of ourselves. Okay? So, according to a survey conducted by Project Gambia in 2021, it says that 1 in 10 girls miss school due to lack of sanitary products or sanitation facilities in schools. Menstruation is a natural fact of life and a monthly occurrence for 1.8 billion girls and women of reproductive age. Yet, millions of menstruators across the world are denied the right to manage their monthly menstrual cycle in a dignified and healthy way. Girls and women with disabilities face even greater challenges in managing their menstrual cycle hygienically and with dignity, stated by UNICEF. There is a constant need to steer the conversations around issues related to one's sexuality, health, and rights. And one aspect of sexual health is menstrual health and its accessibility to hygienic resources. Women and girls frequently experience social exclusion, discrimination, and in severe instances are subjected to verbal and physical abuse. This in itself is injustice and violates the rights of the person. We have heard of how girls in certain areas are usually separated from peers or from the society during their menstrual cycle to sit alone, eat alone, and basically have no sort of a relationship during their cycle. Girls constantly missing days at school and left behind their peers due to menstruation has led to their dropout of school early and which have even led to a greater risk of child marriage. With millions, yes, millions of women in the world menstruating, menstruation is still a taboo topic and finally dressed in many myths, especially for those living in poverty. There is a great need to demystify the myth that surrounds menstruation. And at this point, I would like to highlight few myths surrounding menstruation. We have heard myths like menstruation is a disease. No, that is false. It is not. It is healthy process that communicates that your reproductive system is healthy. It keeps the lining of the womb healthy. It is also made mention that nobody should touch a menstruating woman. Again, this is false. There is nothing wrong with a menstruator. She will not transfer any disease to you, nor will she make you unclean or smelly or fall sick. Another one, which is commonly made mention, is that having your period is shameful. You should be ashamed to be seeing your period. Again, there is nothing to be ashamed of for something that is natural, for something that is normal. In fact, in it, you have to be more proud of. It is also made mentions that virgins must not wear tampons during their cycle. Why? Because it will disvirgin them. Again, this is false. It will not break your hymen for those that have hymen. I hope that you know that it's not everybody that has hymen. Do you know that? Okay. So this, the tampon, will not ruin your virginity or break the hymen. Virgins wearing tampons during their period will make them promiscuous. Will make you want men too much. No, it will not do that. Okay? So in your cycle, if you feel that tampons is what helps you, you are free to use it. It will not do anything. If you feel like it's the menstrual part, the normal one, that will help you, you can use it. If it's the reusable ones, you can use it. It's all myth. There's another myth that says that PMS, which means premenstrual syndrome, is all in your head. That again is false. The condition of feeling bloated, breast tenderness, mood swings, feeling irritable, anger, anxious, overwhelmed, exhausted, difficulty sleeping, difficulty concentrating, and sometimes even having suicidal thoughts. These are not just in the head of people or in the head of women. These are serious. And if there is anybody that has these feelings during their cycle, especially suicidal thoughts, please seek professional help. There's another myth which says you should have bath during your cycle, during your period. Warulo sangu. Again, this is false. Yes, one should have bath during their cycle. It is even a plus if you can immerse yourself in warm water because this will help relax your body and help with cramps. Another one, it says you can't get pregnant during your period. Don't we all believe that we cannot get pregnant during that period? You believe? Okay. Anyways, it's not question answer time. All right? Again, this is false. Yes, you are least fertile during your cycle, but you are not infertile. I repeat, during your period, you are least fertile, but you are not infertile. Therefore, there is a possibility of pregnancy to occur because sperm can live longer. For instance, if one cycle is shorter, 21 or 22 days, instead of the 28 days, and one has sex on the sixth day of their period, the sperm can wait in the vagina for up to 7 days, which gives it long enough time for ovulation. Again, you are least fertile, but you are not infertile. The lesson here is when one needs to have sex during menstruation, they should use what? Contraceptives or condoms. Period pain isn't the big deal. We have heard many times the other gender, men, our friends will say, well, it's nonsense lah. Huh? Not all of it, yange patch. It's a big deal. Period pain is valid. Severe pain is not normal. And again, if you are facing it, and even normal painkillers are not helping, exercises are not helping, please see a medical professional. Endometriosis is real. Another myth that goes around says, period pain means you are ready for marriage. Again, this is false. It's unbelievable. It is true. Some child marriage happen because they say, it's not true. It's true. When beginner na, puberty has taken place. Kifum nekani, war na dem say. Bala mote gacha security. That's what they say. Again, this is false. Period is not a science-delivered delivered message that one is ready for marriage or sexual maturity. While menstruation is an indication of fertility, it does not mean that girls have reached physical, emotional, mental, psychological maturity for marriage. Periods are a sign of the beginning of puberty and not a sign to get married, have sex, or give birth. And another myth, menstruators spoil food. Again, this is false. In certain parts of the world, women and girls are restricted from touching the food because it is believed that the food will get spoiled at their touch. Women and girls are also restricted from going to the farm because the crops will get ruined or there will be bad production. Again, this is false. Menstruation It is believed that menstruation blood is evil and cursed. Again, this is false. Because why would God create something and curse it? All right? Why? Think about that. The last one I want to share is this, a myth. It can make men impotent. Do you know what impotent means? Okay, so I don't have to explain it. Okay. It's a myth. It will not make any man impotent. Most of these myths I just mentioned may sound laughable, unrealistic to hear or believe, but in some parts of our regions or the world, it is real and have some serious implications and consequences. Setting behavioral restrictions, contributing to gender based violence, restricting menstruators from jobs and education, thus holding back the fight for gender equality. The belief that menstruation is dirty or shameful has damaging effect on adolescents' education, contributing to the fears of participating in schools activities, especially extracurricular activities like sports or social events. Menstrual hygiene management is essential in ensuring the women and girls menstruate in a dignified manner. It means access to hygienic menstrual materials that can help absorb or collect blood flow, facilities to change in a dignified and private manner as need be, and dispose of used materials. It also means access to soap and clean water to wash the body as required. Menstrual hygiene management is a human rights concern as we continue to see the prevalence of period poverty even in our society today. It is best practice that women and girls must change their pads between 2 to 3 hours daily for hygienic purposes. But how many of us can actually afford these resources at the rate needed? How many of our institutions are providing these management practices for our women and girls? Are menstrual hygiene resources part of the institution budgets? Are they given the platform to speak on issues related to their sexual health and what they need? Are there emergency responses in place for women and girls at school and workplaces? Women and girls in low income settings have low awareness on hygienic practices and lack culturally appropriate materials for menstrual hygiene management practices. Menstruation and associated activities are surrounded by shame, silence, and taboos that are manifested in social practices that restrict mobility, freedom, and access to normal activities like drinking milk. The lack of access to said management has resulted to women and girls missing out of school, restriction of movement, unhygienic practices because they have to have the same pad the whole day, stained clothes during heavy flow, infections, etc. There is a constant need for advocacy and menstrual health education to tackle poor hygiene management. I hereby buttress access to menstrual hygiene management is a basic reproductive health right. On this menstrual hygiene day, I want to challenge all of us to continue to fight the injustices that surround menstrual health. That our goals be to combat stigma and discrimination by applying approaches of social and behavioral change communication to reach out to boys, men, and other persons not involved in the menstruation process to counter stereotypes associated with menstruation. So I am happy that few men are around us today to grace this occasion, to hear, to learn and unlearn that menstruation or period is a natural occurrence in a woman's life, and there is nothing wrong with that. We need more men to rise to the occasion to end period shaming and all other stigmas involved. Let's end the stigmatization associated with menstruation. And to the ladies, there is nothing to be ashamed of when seeing your menstruation. In fact, you should rejoice in seeing it because it tells you that your body is normal and healthy unless you are or were expecting to be pregnant. But you are still healthy, and that your body is communicating. Nobody, again, nobody should not miss school, work, or opportunities because they are on their menstruation, unless you are in severe pain and that is valid. I hope that as we are here today, we will have an open mind to learn, unlearn, and relearn to understand our bodies and of our partners. Most importantly, be supportive as menstrual health is not only physical but also emotional. Thank you.